Senator Heller.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I think you're the chair of all my committees now. Look forward to working with you on veterans. I want to thank Senator Hatch and Senator Wyden. Looking forward to working with you. It's great to be on this committee, and I'm real pleased that the first issue that we discuss is economic growth and creating jobs. I think for most of the American people, I think that's where they come down. I want to say hello to the governor. It's good to see you again, and everybody on the panel. Thank you for being here and for your words and efforts. The economic recession affected everyone, but in my home state of Nevada, it was especially harmful. Nevada experienced the nation's highest unemployment rate, nearly 14% at its peak. I would argue real unemployment today is north of 9%, as well as the highest foreclosure rate in the nation and the highest personal bankruptcy rate. So it's been a rough few years. Though our situation has improved, Nevada's unemployment rate unfortunately remains one of the highest in the nation. Recovery has been slow. Thousands of Nevada families are still waiting for true economic recovery that they can see and, in fact, feel in their pocketbooks. Americans have been told the economy is getting better, but they aren't feeling the effects, especially in my home state. And though the national unemployment rate has gone down, millions of Americans have dropped out of the workforce entirely. The fact is that this administration's policies have put up barriers to economic growth. We have already burned some tax code that has only become more complicated under Obamacare. Businesses continue to face mountains of new federal rules and regulations. And we have a health care law that makes it harder to see your doctor, makes it more difficult for employers to grow, and raises taxes hardworking American taxpayers. To truly grow our economy, there are key factors that deserve the attention of Congress. Americans deserve a cleaner, simpler tax code, trade policies that ensure Americans competitive in the growing international marketplace, and healthcare policies that actually focus on improving access, affordability, and quality. As a member of this committee, I look forward to working with the chairman and the ranking member to move these issues forward. And with that, a few questions today. There's an article today that came out in Politico. As you know, we haven't had tax reform in this country since 1986, and I think there's pretty good reasons why that occurs. I'll just read 2 paragraphs out of this morning's article. It says, lawmakers in the White House are overstating the benefits of a business code rewrite. Some of the economists say, predicting that any likely overhaul will do little for growth and may even hurt the economy. That's because for all the complaints about special interest loopholes and sky-high rates, the biggest corporate tax breaks are generally believed by economists to promote growth. So I think that voice is going to get louder and louder and louder as we work together as a committee to improve the corporate tax code that we have. But I guess my question to you, Governor, is there any truth behind these comments, and what are the risks that you see moving forward on corporate tax reform?
Well, one of the risks of not moving forward is that we continue to retain a patchwork temporary tax code that we have to come back every few months, it seems, to try to extend it. It allows nobody to plan in advance, nobody to rely, whether you're, frankly, individual or business taxpayers. As far as the, unnamed economists who say that certain provisions have benefits, of course, many of those benefits are put in to offset some of the negative effects of the code we've got. And that was the whole goal. I mean, since '86, we've seen changes made, but what's really changed since '86 is what the rest of the world has done in reaction to our code. And so then we react to that. And some of those provisions are designed exactly to try to make us more competitive against some other region of the world or some other practice out there. I think that a simpler, flatter, fairer tax. I mean, I certainly enjoyed the conversation with Senator Cardin, but that's a long way to get there, to where he would like to go. But we can clearly see a simpler tax code in our future if we act now on some of the things that I think are doable in this committee.
We haven't. We've talked a little bit about education, and I know BRT has a solid position. I'd like to get your view on this, but in Nevada, about 30% of the high school graduates go on to a post-high school education. Unfortunately, by 2020, 65% of the jobs in this country will need post-high school education. How do you feel about the president's proposal on Tuesday of free community colleges?
Well, the free community colleges are spending a lot of their time doing what the high school didn't do in the first place. So, you know, I'm frustrated by that proposal a little bit, and I'm certainly frustrated by what's offered as a way of trying to pay for it. I mean, nobody's seen the details on what he's actually specifically proposing, but I would say that take Clark County in Nevada, we really need to have for each student kind of their individual plan. If it's going to college, you need to get there and be able to do college work when they arrive. If they're not going to go directly to college, maybe go to the gaming industry, maybe into the resource industry, then what kind of jobs and what skills are needed in those jobs? Can't we start earlier than post 12th grade? I mean, let's start at the 10th grade and help people. And what we're seeing in the real world is that people who get skills often then also gain confidence with that and conclude that I want even more education, then go back to school to gain that, and oftentimes they're able to pay for it because they're now employed. It's a much more virtuous circle. Yeah. And the other thing is end the dropouts, because if you drop out, you're really dropping out of the whole economy.
Yeah. Governor, thank you. My time's run out, Mr. Chairman.